Alright, well, hello everybody. I am back. I know you've missed me. What I got to teach you about today, we're going to do an introduction about solutions. And I know you've heard the term solution. You usually think of something that's dissolved in water, and you're not wrong about that. But there's a better way to describe that. First of all, I want you to title the notes here, Introduction to Solutions, and I want you to write down the stuff that I show you. Okay? The I can statement that we need to write. I can define the term solution and explain its components. Okay? So take a moment, pause your video, and write down that I can statement. Alright, and so now that you've written down the I can statement, let me give you the definition of a solution. And here's what I want you to write down for a solution. It's a homogeneous mixture. Okay? A homogeneous mixture is the same exact thing as a solution. And what happens is a solute will dissolve into a solvent. Okay? And please make sure you write it down a phrase like this. A solute will dissolve into a solvent. I put a star next to that word dissolve because when you think of homogeneous mixtures and solutions, I want you to think something dissolves into something else. Okay? And I have an example for you of salt water. All right? So I got my box of salt right here, and I got my beaker of water. All right? And in a second here, I'm going to pour this salt into the water so that the salt dissolves. I want you to ask yourself when I'm giving you these definitions, which one of these definitions is the salt and which one is the water? Okay? So we're looking at the definition of a solution, a solute dissolving into a solvent. Can you please write down this definition for solvents? Okay? The solvent is the dissolving medium of a solution. Okay? It's the medium, it's what you dissolve into. Okay? Now, the solute is the dissolving particles of a mixture. Okay? The solute is the dissolving particles of a mixture. It's what gets dissolved. And also realize this, in a solution, there's always more solvents, and there's always less solute. The solute gets dissolved into the solvent, and that's what there'll be more of. Okay? So, I have my thing of salt. I want you to ask yourself, what's the term for the salt? Is it the solute or the solvent? And I put it in my water. I stir it up. I spill it all over me. Okay? And it's going to dissolve. So what's the term for the water? All right? I want you to write those two things down. When we come back to class, you're going to tell me which one is which. Okay? All right? So now, one thing I need you to realize about solutions, it's just not things that are dissolved in water. Okay? Solutions can have not only liquid solvents, which is what you're used to thinking about, it can have solid solvents, it can have gas solvents. All right? And I want to write down some things you see around the house, and you are going to tell me what is the solvent and what are some solutes dissolved in that. Okay? For example, soda. I'll tell you, soda has a liquid solvent. You need to tell me, do we have solids dissolved in that liquid solvent? Or do you have gases dissolved into it, or do you have both? How about a cleaning product like bleach? That's an example of a solution. Okay? Here's something. A stainless steel sink.
Huh?
Stainless steel sink, that's the solution. Yes, it actually is a solution. I got another definition for you to write down. Okay. Stainless steel is actually what's called an alloy. Okay. An alloy is a mixture of elements. Key thing is at least one of the elements is a metal. Okay. Sometimes there's a couple metals that are mixed together, but you got different metal elements that you mix together, and that's what's called an alloy. And I got 4 examples here. And I need you to write these 4 examples down, and I want you to go online, and I want you to find the composition. What is dissolved to make cast iron? What is dissolved to make stainless steel? What is dissolved to make brass? And what is dissolved to make bronze? I think these two, brass and bronze, people think that they're on the periodic table like copper and gold and silver is, but they're not elements. They're actually a mixture or an alloy. So do me a favor, see if you can find the composition of those 4 things. You'll share it with me when you come back to class. And then the last thing I have for you, I have one more term before I end my video here. I don't want it to be too long. I want before you to come into class to look up this term, rate of dissolution. And when we say rate of dissolution, how fast a solute dissolves. Okay. Now, if you look in your honors textbook, you're going to look and find there are actually 3 ways we can increase the rate of dissolution or make something dissolve faster. Okay. I want you to think about my salt water here. My salt is still here at the bottom. Okay. What are 3 ways I can get this salt water here so it'll dissolve a little bit faster? Bring that with you to class, and that's all I have for you tonight. It's a real quick introduction to solutions, and we get much more in depth later in the year. What we work on the next couple days would just be the real basic information you need to know about homogeneous mixtures or solutions. Bye all.